afford me needs to waste time winning me to some cause. I serve no god or country. I fly no flag. If I'm effective, it's because of one simple fact.
I don't give a fuck.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another sweet episode of Citizen Frame. And today we are talking a new release. So if you haven't seen it, well, fuck it, keep listening. But but actually, it's quite a simple, kind of a simple plot here.
There's not much to spoil.
Yeah, there's not much to spoil. It's about a killer, and he wants to get revenge before they get revenge on him. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much the story. Quite simple. And usually with our boy stuff, it's a little more twists and turns, and you'll have a little more character development in his stuff. It's a very character-driven director. But this one's a little more laid back. And you know what? It works. And we're going to talk about it. The Killer, the new Netflix film that has just been released. And before we start, we're going to talk about our boy, David Fincher. Now, David Fincher is like a Michael Bay when he came from, I believe, music videos. Like, I think a lot of directors come from music videos, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And we just talked about recently about how directors have become guns for hire. Now, there's still quite a few directors out there that we give respect to and nod our hats to that we like to see. But at the end of the day, we're losing our cores. We're losing our Coppolas. Just recently, I lost our Freakins. We're losing, sadly, the Spielbergs, the Lucases, you name it. Guys who say, fuck you, I do what I want.
Yeah. Tarantino has stated his next film will be his last,
Yeah. Yep, he did. But knock on wood, this is Kiss's last tour. Yeah, I mean, we know how that usually goes.
Yeah. Until the next one.
But But David Fincher is still one of those directors, and he's still fairly young, actually. So we'll still have him for a good time here, and I think he gets what he wants at this point. He's got a very Michael Mann style to his storytelling. He has a tendency to create these fictional, fantasy-esque characters in a world that we can see play out in real life. And he's got a very, especially this film, mimics a lot of Michael Mann's, he does Thief, he's done Heat, Michael Mann, but this one really hits more close to his movie Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. Because it's an assassin, but it's about an assassin that you should hate. But there's a likability to these characters, even the villains that he puts in. We kind of mentioned that with Tarantino. You'll have this seedy underworld in his films with these, just
criminals.
Yeah, where it's kind of like watching them on screen. And they're not the cartoon, like the Joker that we get, where you're going to like him either way. You almost shouldn't want to like him.
Well, it boils down to good writing and acting, ultimately, where they're actually proper, fully rounded human characters with good points and bad points, like people are.
Well, this was, it's funny you bring up the writing. You're right. This is one of my favorite screenwriters wrote this. And he's a collaborator quite a bit with David Fincher. His name is Andrew Kevin Walker. He's known for Seven, Panic Room, and my favorite, well, he didn't work with David Fincher on this one, but Sleepy Hollow.
Yes, great film.
And so he brings that darker edge to this, and of course Fincher's vision as a director. Then he always puts in Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross to do all the scores. Obviously, we all know Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, and they haven't all worked together in a little while. But man, David Fincher, I have to say, is probably easily in my top 10 directors of all time.
Well, he's made some great films.
Now, the two I hate to mention because I think they're shit, which is Benjamin Button's, oh Jesus, and that was just an Oscar grab. Sorry, David Fincher, if you're listening. And Fight Club.
Well, I haven't seen Benjamin Button, but I'm a fan of Fight Club. I like it.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But I'll tell you what, guys, the rest of his work is outstanding. Yes, I'm a diehard fan of Alien 3.
I like Alien 3 as well.
7, The Game, Gone Girl, Zodiac, I think is his best work. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, a remake, which is actually better than the original. And, of course, I just mentioned Panic Room. I mean, that's a great list of that's a catalog right there that's worth, having and owning.
Absolutely, yeah. 7's very dark and sort of grim stuff, and really like Fight Club. But yes, I have to say I've always stood up for Alien 3. I think it's grossly underrated.
Yeah, especially if you see the director's cut.
Yeah.
Again, David Fincher's first film was Alien 3, so he probably had a lot of interference from the producers.
Yes.
But when you see the director's cut, it's a lot better. So, goes to show you, Fincher had the right idea, but blackballed by the boys in the suits. This is based on a graphic novel. Didn't know that. I think that's kind of cool. Wouldn't mind checking it out. There you go.
Yeah.
Everyone can go, the graphic novel, so you guys can run. Because thanks to Citizen Frame, we let you know that this is based on a graphic novel series that you can now go get at your local comic book store.
Yep, yeah. And while you're there, grab Phantasmagoria as well.
There you go.
If you're in Belfast.
Wow, that's a shameless plug.
Yeah, I know that. There's shameless self-promotion. But not just, groups promotion. There's many of us in it.
Embarrassment to Citizen Frame.
Bullshit.
I want 100 quid for that. All right, here we are. We're talking The Killer. Again, low, nice, quiet little cast here. We've got pretty much the characters: the killer, the expert, the lawyer, the client, the brute, and then Dolores and was it Magdalia?
Yep.
And then Perleo, the taxi driver.
Yeah, but to be fair, he sort of. Well, I sort of felt sorry for him.
I don't think he deserved it. Let's dive into it.
He didn't deserve to be shot in the face, or shot in the back of the head. But he was a dick, as well. But yeah, I mean.
We'll start off with just the smooth credits. The credits are like 30 seconds long. He just gets right to the point who's involved in this film, and it's done with Trent Reznor's and Atticus Ross's little style. It was just so solid and just brings you right into it. It's almost like it almost plays like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And the heartbeat is quite relevant in this film because the main character, the killer, played by the wonderful Michael Fassbender, he has this way of he's got to keep his heart rate below 60 before he can take a shot.
Yes.
Because it keeps the shot smooth and steady or whatever.
Well, he's a very methodical person.
Well, that's the great thing about this film. The first 20 minutes of this film, it's pretty much the day in the life of an assassin. And it pretty much brings you into his world, what it feels like if you're ever in this kind of situation.
Stripped back as well, which is a sort of thing with Fincher's films, where it's it's quite basic. There's no big elaborate sets or anything like that. Can I just randomly give a shout out to The Game, which is another brilliant film, Ben?
I mentioned that in the beginning.
Oh, did you? Sorry. Sorry. Between
your shameless self-promotion of Phantasmagoria magazine and you not listening to when I already mentioned The Game, wow. I
was too busy thinking about my plug for the
wow.
That's what I missed it.
Shameless.
So
wow. Yeah, The Game is definitely up there. And the funny thing is, I wanted to watch this because I've seen it 3 times.
Right? Yeah.
And the first time I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yes.
The second time was like, I got to see if this is my favorite Fincher film. That's what I had to do. I said,
right.
Okay, this is teetering. This is probably my favorite. But then you got to watch it again because, for the podcast, I want to take notes. But I wanted to watch it again because, you know how sometimes you love Seven. Seven's, everyone think that's his best work. But yet, it's older. So you've seen it so many times. Still love it.
Yeah.
But it's because something's fresh and new, you have a tendency to make that your go-to.
Well, I have issues with this, but we'll get to them.
Well, my whole thing is, do I think this is his best film? Because I'm telling you right now, I think it's a masterpiece in filmmaking. And the style and the cuts and the pacing, the first 20 minutes, like we were talking about, some people might sit there and yawn, no, this is boring. but you're not. Michael Fassbender has that hypnotic voice. He pretty much just narrates.
He's a great screen presence. So
Exactly. He's playing a lot like his character in oh my God, how do I not know it from Prometheus?
Yes, David.
He plays a lot like Dave, very robotic.
I love David. I think he's the best thing about those Prometheus films, and the other one, the sequel to it.
Yeah, Covenant.
Yeah.
Two actually underrated films, especially Covenant. So, so he takes you through his whole life, and I just love the little things. I just love how he talks about 150, like he says, 140 million human beings are born every year, give or take. The world population is 7.8 billion. Every second, 1.8 million die. In that same second, 1.2 million are born. Nothing I ever do is going to make a dent in these numbers.
Yeah, he's cold, emotionless.
Yes. And that's what he talks about. He tells you this is who I have to be.
He's without humanity, even.
He just, this whole, and it's 22 minutes long. And he's kind of self-confident. He's methodical. He's well-planned. He says to stick to your plan, anticipate, don't improvise.
No room for empathy.
Exactly. Fight the battle you're only paid to fight.
Yes.
Weakness is a vulnerability. And when he says that, he pauses, he takes a shot, and he misses.
Yes. Yeah.
Why does he miss?
It's just pure. It's we all make mistakes. Even someone as sort of methodical as him, but it wasn't really his fault because just by chance the sort of, I'm assuming it's a prostitute, dressed in all the BDSM stuff.
Yeah.
She basically just happens to just walk in front of his shot.
You know what's funny? I watched, like I said, a few times. So this whole sequence, he has him in the crosshairs.
Yes.
But because he sticks to his routine, which he says you must do, he has to get his heart rate below 60. So he's waiting for his heartbeat to go below 60 for him to take the perfect shot. Mm-hmm. And that's why he waited. Because we keep seeing him. He's got him in the crosshairs. It's
his own sort of, sort of OCD-esque routine that has actually made him make a mistake.
Exactly.
In the end.
Exactly. Now, the minute he takes that shot, he fucking just gets up and gets going. Mm-hmm. I love how he gets rid of the weapon, how he gets rid of bits and pieces, sprays everything down, not panicking. While he panics a little bit when the motorbike won't unlock.
Yes.
And it's just the whole escape because he knows he has to get out of there now. Not because he knows what's coming, because of what the story's about to be, but because of the people across the street. They know his guardsmen are going to know that came from across the street.
Can I just say as well, regarding his sort of coldness and all that sort of thing, later on it's revealed that he was once a law student, and it is pretty common knowledge that basically the legal profession is basically cold and brutal and ruthless. So I think that was a nice touch actually, because he'd be perfect in that sort of world. You know what I mean? Because it is a cold and clinical and heartless profession apparently. I thought that was a nice touch where it sort of it adds to his character and who he is essentially. If he wasn't a killer, he would be perfect in the legal profession.
Yeah, I didn't catch that actually. That's a good shout because
yes.
It's a dog-eat-dog world in that kind of
in that kind of,
career.
Yeah.
So when I said in the beginning, it's a simple story. It quite is, but it's more about the execution of that story. And all it is now is that he knows he has to get back home to his hideout, pretty much grab his girlfriend and go. He's going to be on the run from now on because he's missed the shot, and now the client is going to want him taken out.
That's just the way it is.
It's just, he knows it. He knows he's fucked. Mm-hmm. So I just love the whole sequences when he's gets on the airplane and he sees a guy wearing shades right there. Oh God, he's out to get me. Mm-hmm. So he changes flights to when he orders room service, not to eat, but to take the tray and the glass and use them as an alarm system.
Yes.
It's just brilliant. And then when he finally makes it to his, which is, I believe, chapter 2,
yes,
is the hideout which is in Dominican Republic.
Yes.
And he sees his girlfriend pretty much beaten to death. And the one thing about this is you see her in the hospital, and she tells him, I didn't say anything, you would have been proud of me. Never met this girl, don't know who he's even playing her, but I'll tell you what, I felt so sorry for her character, and I've never seen her in one scene.
Yeah. It did irk me, but they we find out later on that it's the Brute and the Tilda Swinton character who called. But if they were such good assassins, why did they even leave her alive? That I know it was the Brute decided. According to Tilda Swinton's character, anyway, it was him that decided to get rough with the girlfriend character. But these are supposed to be clinically, cold assassins. I am very surprised that they left her alive.
I wonder if they did that on purpose to bait him.
Nah. I think it's I think it's for the script, just to give him an emotional, some sort of emotional sort of reason to be out. It would have put it like this here, for me anyway. If they had killed his girlfriend, it would have given him even more reason for revenge. But they don't, for whatever reason.
Yeah, but I think
it hurts the story for me.
I don't think so. I think it's the opposite, because he gets so sick of these films where you kill my good dog, like John Wick, or you kill my girl, my family, like The Punisher, or all these different stories where you kill, I'm going to get revenge. This one, I liked it more because they fucked up. Mm-hmm. So they fucked up by not killing her. They didn't know they did. They probably thought they did kill her. So, but you're right. They most likely, these guys in their line of work would have crossed their T's and dot their I's, especially Tilda Swinton's character, the expert. She's known as the expert. But what I liked about it, you saw the aftermath of what these people are capable of. Yeah. So if you see that, it'd be more heart-wrenching to see a dog in pain with broken legs and blah blah than the actual the dog's dead. Let's move on. Yeah. I think this is more of an instigator because it's brutal. I mean, she's scarred.
Her injuries are very realistic.
Yeah. So I think that's what he was going for.
Yes. Yeah. The sort of I don't know. I suppose because it means when the word is a character more, so there is a sort of human sort of emotion in a way, a sort of emotional connection because she's actually living and breathing, and you sort of get to know her in a way.
That's my point exactly because there's a big difference between they kill a dog or they kill a person. Man, these guys are bad guys. We got to get them.
But
and then you move on.
But at the same time, it did sort of take away from the Tilda Swinton character and the Brute for me because it just made them less of a threat because they can't even kill a fucking innocent civilian, So they still sort of get away with it, but but I'm sort of picking at holes here,
Yeah, you are, but
that's what I do like to do.
Oh yeah, dick. So let me get to this. So how does he pick what cab company?
He basically whenever the witnesses, I think is it the brother said it was a cab, drove them away from remember it's his brother-in-law. Do you remember?
But he sees all these different cabs. How does he know what cab company?
Yeah, I think it was the brother-in-law said they were green or something. He said that the type of cab company there was like something that give away their like their color of cab or something. I think I could be wrong on that.
Do you think he should have killed the cabbie?
From a human point of view, no. But from a story point of view and a character point of view, it's yes.
Yeah, you have to. All bets are off.
Yes,
anyone involved is going to get it.
It raises stakes with him as a character, and the audience takes him more serious.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to get it. Mm-hmm. Which will come to my question at the very end of the film with the client. So you've got. I do like. Did you catch the credit cards he's using?
Yes, they're they were like 1980s, 1970s. Basically TV characters, weren't they? Like Sam Malone from Cheers and stuff.
Sam Malone, Howard Cunningham, Oscar Madison.
Yes.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
So he gets the information. He needs to find out who the actual killers were, or
Yeah.
the attempted killers.
So he goes to the boss.
He's got to go to New Orleans, which is where the lawyer is. Lawyer and Dolores.
Yes.
Now, this lawyer's got that. This lawyer is badass
Yeah.
because knowing what could happen here, he's calling him out. He's like, you know the rules. This is how it works. I didn't make the call, but you know. You wouldn't be here if you didn't know
Yep.
that this wasn't going to happen. So you still went home. Why the fuck did you go home? So it's really great conversation between these two. And actually, he doesn't say much, Michael Fassbender. And Dolores is tied up at the time. She's the secretary. And when he shoots him with the 3 nails...
I would say as well that this is, again, where the character makes another mistake and starts to show sort of weaknesses and flaws, human flaws, because he sort of times how long it will take him to die because he wants to get information out of him, but he gets it wrong as well.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just... It seems like each one, besides the helpless, the taxi guy didn't, at times... But everyone he goes after that is a threat, I guess you can say, he seems to kind of make a mistake. We'll get it with the Brute, which is the best scene in the film.
Yeah, it's basically, this film overall is about the killer Michael Fassbender's journey to becoming more human. And yes, it's a bit of a cliche and it's a trope, but these are little sort of moments where we see glimpses of his humanity by making mistakes. Whereas at first, before he makes the first mistake in the assassination, you think this guy's a fucking robot. This guy's a Terminator, But it's basically about his journey from the beginning when we see him to becoming human again.
I think the human side started the minute he missed that shot.
Yes, definitely.
Because it is the hunter becoming the hunted.
Yeah.
Or at least for the first few until he decides to challenge them.
Yes.
But, so, yeah, once he becomes kind of the hunted, and that's where his more human side starts to kick in. And that might explain the ending.
Yeah.
With the client. So when he kills, and he takes Dolores, and Dolores gets him the names, this is where he finds out the Brute and the Expert were the ones who pretty much handled his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he kills Dolores, breaks her neck.
That was a very brutal scene, because she was just like a sort of middle-aged sort of nice little secretary. Yes, she worked for this bastard, when she was sort of involved in all of this, but she was still quite the sort of, the way she's played and sort of written, she's still quite a sort of an ordinary sort of nice wee woman type character.
Yeah, she does have that secretary, and I thought about this quite a few times. Did she deserve it? And I'm saying, fuck yeah, because I'll tell you why.
It's a good scene.
It's a good scene, and she knew.
She was up there necking it.
She was up there just as bad as the lawyer.
Yeah.
So, in all fairness, that's it.
Yeah.
Now, I knew he was going to kill her. There's no way he was going to let her
I wasn't expecting it at that moment,
Yeah, it just breaks her neck, and she flops down the stairs.
Yeah.
So this leads us to chapter 4, which is
Sorry,
Florida.
can I just go back a little bit? There's a really funny line where they're taking out his boss's body with Dolores in the lift, and somebody gets into the lift and goes, "Want a hand up on that dead body?"
Yeah.
He goes,
There is
probably the only humor in this film.
There's a couple of them that he says, but it's very far and few between. Very deadpan. But
I like how he listens to the Smiths, by the way.
Yeah, he has them going the whole time.
Yeah,
even while he's doing a hit. Now he goes to the Brute's house. The choreography in this fight scene is fucking awesome.
Yes,
it is one of the better fight scenes I've seen in a long time. 2 guys, 2 professionals fighting. And, I mean, it's just
hardcore.
The pain. I was feeling both these guys' pain as they took hits.
It's very realistically done.
Yeah. Obviously, he gets away, but I can't explain it, guys. Can't do it justice, but just watch it. This guy, the Brute, is just a brutal character. Hence his name. And his dog's just as bad. But he doesn't kill the dog.
The pit bull. Again, that's another glimpse of his humanity. He doesn't kill the dog.
And yeah, because it would have killed him. So he still doesn't. All it doesn't help that he's weak as fuck because that guy almost kicked his ass. But that was great. Then we end up going to chapter 5, which is the expert. Anything Tilda Swinton is in, I love. I love this actress. She plays cold well.
Yeah, she even or sort of the look of her is very almost alien. If you know what I mean, she doesn't. She looks quite sort of very different, and that helps with these sort of cold, weirder roles. 100%, like.
Yeah, I believe she was in Constantine too, and she was really good in that. There's something about her. She's I mean, I think she's underrated.
Yes, no, I think she's a class act.
I think she plays moms. When I see her as mom, I was like, "What? That's no way. This she can't play a mom." But then you see her and she pulls it off.
Yeah.
So she's just such a versatile actress.
Well, when she comes in, it's a brilliant sort of back and forward between the two of them. Brilliant scene.
Oh, I love it. It reminded me of the scene where Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
In Heat. Yeah.
Yep. And so, yeah, he sits down and she's just questioning him. Why are you here? You could make me fall down the stairs, hit me by a kite, hit and run, whatever you wanted to. Why are you here?
Yes.
He doesn't really answer it, does he?
No, but I think it's more because, again, it's to do with his return to being a human. He's curious, and he wants to look at her face to face. Again, I think it's part of his personal character journey.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to look her in the eyes.
That as well, that's a possibility, but again, I think it's more he's starting to show humanity more.
Well, that's my point. Maybe, besides the Brute, because the Brute is just a fucking beast.
He's just a brute.
He didn't have a chance to say anything to him, but with her, I think he wanted to look her in the eyes to see if there's any humanity there.
Yeah.
Because he's starting, like you said, is starting to become more human, and his emotions are starting to take over a bit.
Yes.
So I think he was trying to give her an out, technically, because even when he's walking her out of the restaurant and she slips and falls, and she goes, "Oh, would you help a lady up?" And he shoots her right in the head.
Yeah.
He was still probably with her having that conversation, but what we don't see and he sees is a knife.
Yeah, she had a knife. It was an act.
Yes. So then his narration ends with "trust no one."
Yep.
So let's get to the mark, and this is the man who made the call to have him killed.
Yes, it was the client who had arranged for him to kill the guy at the start, but then he bollocks it up. So then his boss and this client guy arranged to have then Fassbender killed.
So when he does that, Arliss Howard, I like him. I like seeing him films. Yes. He's a good character actor. He plays the clueless guy well, and he tells him, "I don't know what you're talking about," and then he finally realizes who he is, and he goes, "Listen, I made a call. They said this is what they do. Then they called me back when something went wrong, and they offered $150,000. They'll take care of it, and that's all I know."
Yeah. He's like a billionaire sort of corporate sort of Jeff Bezos type person.
Yeah. Why doesn't he not kill him?
Well, this is his journey to being human. I knew this is one of my big issues with the film. I found too much of this. While it is very well produced, amazingly acted, and it's very slickly directed, as you would expect from Fincher, my issue is the story. Essentially, it was very predictable, and it was pretty obvious that he was going to spur someone at the end. I actually originally thought it was going to be Tilda Swinton, but then it's not. It turns out it's this client guy, but I thought it was pretty... I've seen this a million times with these assassin-type films where they return to humanity and spur someone, and that's their sort of arc complete, where they spur a life.
But what's wrong with that? I'm okay with that. We saw one of the better films called The Professional, and I think I thought that's what I wanted, because the whole journey he's tweaking a bit, right? And he's becoming a little more of human, like we said. But what I liked about it, because I said in the beginning, you like this character, even though you shouldn't. And at the end, you kind of can go, okay, good, I can like him, because he didn't kill the nerd.
I agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. The problem is, it's just I would have preferred, especially from someone like Fincher, something to completely different. Where you can have something like like an American Psycho, where at the end he goes, "There is no catharsis. I'm still a bastard." This sort of thing. Maybe even just something different. I cannot flaw this film in terms of direction, acting, all the rest, but the story has been done a million times before, and it was predictable. That's what I would say.
I disagree with the predictability part. At least with the ending. But it's like I said in the beginning, the story's quite simple.
Yeah.
So we all, so I introduced that right away to let people know. But it's about the execution, pardon the pun. And I'll tell you what, I was floored by it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't want it to end. I just want to see more designations and him going out and taking out people. But we weren't going to get that Hollywood style.
Yes.
That's not Fincher's.
Yes, of course.
That's not what Fincher does. He tells a story and gets out. It's just under 2 hours long, and it just flies. And you think it would be kind of boring and quiet, but it is the day. It's just so good.
It's not boring, but due to the great performances and stuff, and these characters, the believability of these characters, the way they're performed and stuff, and Fassbender's a class act, so's Tilda Swinton, But yeah, don't get me wrong, I love a good sort of character study, which is essentially what this is. But it certainly isn't, sort of boring. It's a slow burn, and that's fine. But yeah, I have to be honest and say I did find it predictable, especially as we went towards the end.
That's fine.
Yeah.
To each their own. Dick. So, yeah. So now I'm battling. Is it my favorite Fincher? It's not my favorite. Fincher.
It's not mine. Fight Club would be mine.
Okay, great. You like the piece of shit one. That's fine. So I'm still... See, Fincher's so good because I like them all. You can have a box set of all this stuff and enjoy them all. I'm still Zodiac. It's probably his best.
It's decent.
Zodiac, decent. Fuck off. Zodiac's fucking brilliant.
It's very good, yes.
Oh my god. Well, you didn't have enough killing. And I wanted torture porn. And I wanted this. And
I don't like torture porn.
where's Doctor Who? There was nobody from Doctor Who in it.
Right. I don't like torture porn, but my favourite Fincher film is Fight Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, fine.
Yeah. Okay.
This has been a dreadful podcast.
Not at all.
All right. Now, listen, we're going to wrap this one up, guys. Listen, if you want to give us a shout-out on CitizenFrame_podcast, which is on Instagram, and on Facebook, you can do so. And that's all I have to add. So get ready. It's Christmas month coming up. Woo!
As Noddy Holder once famously said, it's Christmas. There you go. That was my Noddy Holder impression.
Who's that?
Slade. You know that song? At the start of it, he shouts, it's Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised you didn't recognise it straight away. So good was my impression.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Thank you.
Wow.
Just call me Michael Fassbender.
Oh, boy. All right, guys, have a good one and check out The Killer. Because it's a great film, and even though Trevor thinks it's a piece of shit, which
I
he just
did
said.
not say that.
He just said it was a piece of shit. I can't believe he called it a piece of shit.
Bullshit.
Wow, now it's bullshit. Wow.
No, you're talking bullshit again.
All right, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.